Как договорились, у нас прошла минута. Я думаю, что люди...
As we said before, 1 minute has passed. I think that the people will join us. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anara Ayaganova. I'm the director for executive personnel, and I have my team with me. And from time to time, our school arranges the events open for everybody to provide the expertise of either our experts working for the Nazarbayev University, or we invite our partners. We have Mr. Yernar Yesbergenov, who is the director for productional systems developments at KTR, and he is going to be talking to us about the operational excellence and the concept of the operational excellence overall. As for the technical part, we do have the interpretation. Yernar is going to be providing his materials in English. For those who don't speak English, I think that we have most of the audience who doesn't. You do have the option to use the translation channels. So there's a globe icon, and you need to click on the globe item, and our interpreters will help you comprehend the material in Russian. And the Russians will be in Russian, and the speaker is going to respond to you in Russian for your comfort. So the presentation is going to be in English, and the rest is going to be performed in Russian, if it is the most convenient format for all of you. We have muted all of the participants in order not to have any sound disturbances. So therefore, I would like to ask you, in case if you want to ask questions, and we favor the questions, from time to time, you could want to find out about the details of the practices, or perhaps you have some questions regarding the concept. And there's also the function box on your panel, and you need to raise your hand and request for an opportunity to speak. So many of you have used this function. Thank you so much, Yernar. I think that we may commence.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Yernar Yesbergenov. First of all, I'd like to thank Anar's team, Anar's team for having me here today. Thank all the participants for joining today's online conversation. Before embarking into our topic, I would like briefly introduce myself and go over my bio. And while I'm doing that, I would ask to do me a favor using this feature that Anara mentioned, raise your hand or just put your name and company or that you are representing today, or at least put the field where you came from, what industry you represent. And the third is from 1 to 10 on the scale. 1 is minimum and 10 is maximum. Please put how much you are familiar with the Lean Six Sigma methodology. This would help me to build the conversation later on and maybe draw.
Yernar, простите, вас не слышно.
Okay. Do you hear me? Okay, good. So I was asking all the participants to put their names. First, second, please put the company you're representing or industry you came from. And thirdly, from 1 to 10 of the scale, 1 is a minimum, 10 is a maximum. Give how much you are familiar with the Lean Six Sigma methodology. That will help me to build the conversation later on, as we will be discussing the topic in more details. And this would help me to understand the level your familiarity with this topic. Okay. So my background is mechanical engineering. I have started my career at Kazakhmys back in 2006, working in Kazakhmys for 3 years. I decided to pursue my education thanks to Bolashak scholarship program. I was able to get my master's degree in the United States in manufacturing and mechanical systems integration. After 3 years of study, when I got back to Kazakhstan, I joined General Electric transportation division here in Kazakhstan. That's how I got my experience, vast experience in heavy machinery. General Transportation is the division who is responsible for assembling locomotives, passenger locomotives, and freight locomotives here in Astana, Nur-Sultan, I'm sorry. So for 6 years, I worked in GE, started as a reliability engineer representing Moscow engineering team. Then I worked as an equipment instructor. Then I was promoted to the international lean leader, basically helping out our customers around the world to implement the best practices in maintenance, implement business processes, helping them to do their job faster and cheaper and better. So during the same period of time, back in 2014, I had started my own company, which is because I really wanted to share with the knowledge that I had experienced with the local companies, small and medium-sized businesses, to share with this methodology that would help them to stay on the market. And that's how I started my journey as a Lean Six Sigma consultant. And yeah, since then I have developed a lot of interactive trainings. I'm not used to these online sessions, but I prefer more face-to-face interaction with the students or our customers. So yeah, I apologize if there would be some flaws during our session today beforehand, but that's how the reality is, and we have to adapt. Yeah. 2014 consulting and training services, and in 2018 I was invited to join the KTR Kazakhstan private company, which mostly were providing services in oil and gas industry to implement the operational excellence program here. And today I will be sharing with some of the key concepts of this methodology, because I'm confident that these concepts and tools are applicable in any business, no matter where you're at. In fact, business process improvement methodologies, in other words, operational excellence, allow organization to achieve operational improvements and maintain their competitive edge nowadays. And the degree of excelling those methods will determine company's ultimate success in any business environment. So that's briefly about myself, and I would like to spend some time and just go over the chat, and hopefully you've left the notes. Let's see what we have, and then we will proceed further with our topic today. Okay, let's do this. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we've got okay, we have a machinery. Okay, 10, construction. I see construction, mining. Good. at university, but not many people write. Please, you still have time, because it would help me to understand where you came from. And yeah, I see mining. Okay, university. Let me put it this way, so you all also can see construction from 10. Okay, we have Raihan with 10 scale, Lean Six Sigma. Nice. 5. Okay. So I see from maintenance, техническая поддержка. Окей. Техническая поддержка при добыче углеводородного сырья. Okay.
So it's maintenance in hydrocarbon operations.
Yeah, I just want to mention that this concept, operational excellence, even though I came from mechanical engineering and heavy machinery industry, I want to emphasize it one more time, that these concepts are applicable in any industry, no matter where you are now. So, okay, Greenbelt Transportation Services, IBEC. Okay, okay. Well, thanks for those of you who left your comments. Thank you very much, and hopefully the rest of the team, the rest of the people will also join the conversation, because I really need your interaction. Okay. So today I'm planning to discuss with you all on some of the common challenges company leaders and their team face nowadays. And hopefully you would also take part in this conversation and maybe share with some of your thoughts on the listed difficulties. I would provide you the list of challenges and difficulties, and hopefully you also had a chance to comment on them, maybe reflect, maybe say, hey, this is what's going on in my company as well, and maybe you can add something new that I don't have on my list. So this is kind of a conversation I hope to have on the first part of our presentation. Then the third part would be devoted more on giving the definition for the operational excellence concepts. And lastly, I would be sharing with the standard procedure of how this usually is being rolled out. I mean, the operational excellence programs. And so you can have a chance to maybe reflect the concepts in your case, in your company. And for your convenience, depending on your question, depending on how we will be progressing today during our conversation, I have prepared the attachment files, but those are in Russian. So if we have a more detailed question, I would dive in and maybe spend some time on also developing certain methods. So here's the plan as a ground. For those of you who just joined our conversation, the ground rules are, if you want to say something, please give us a heads up. And I believe there is a button that you have to wave first. Then our team would give you the microphone, and then here you go. You would either have a chance to talk so we can hear you, or you just leave your comment. Either way, we would be happy to hear from you. Okay, let's move on. As you know, for the top manager and his team, the most important goal is to provide products or services on time, on budget, and on the right quality. While achieving these goals, top managers face many obstacles. And I would ask everyone spend 30-50 seconds and read them through. And it would be nice for me to hear from you on some of the challenges you might find identical in your cases, in your company. Perhaps you might want to add something that is not here. Yeah, I understand that this is not 100. It's not the 100% list. It's not completed, but these are the very common, in my opinion, problems that the top managers and their team faces while trying to meet those goals while delivering service or products. So while I will be going through these challenges, please feel free to leave a comment here. Maybe highlight some of the items that I have already in my list, saying we also have the same issue here. Maybe add something new that we don't have. It would be interesting to read. Well, micromanagement in daily routine of the company. Dealing with everyday tasks eat up the most of the COE and top managers' time. Instead of building strategic plans, he or she, they have to deal with the daily routine, which is not good for the future of the company. And with the developed IT technologies, with globalization, digitalization, our world has become very small, and customers are very demanding. They can instantly Google and compare your product or services with others. These factors forces companies to be always customer-oriented, customer-sensitive, which requires a lot of resources. For instance, the same task is not taking the same time to complete. Plus, you have always the variation in your cost, and it also affects your bottom line income in the end of the day. In addition, such factors as frustration and blaming each other also aggravates the situation. There's a silo thinking mentality or phenomenon. When you have a big company, corporate company, if you're big enough, you have different teams, departments. Let's say I'm a maintenance guy, and I might have all my decision in my company would be solely based on the interest of the maintenance department. I might sometimes don't even think about how it's going to affect the production side, or maybe finance team, or maybe legal team. And this silos, they are preventing teams, the whole company, from effective communication. And this is a very big problem, because every department, every team within the company, they think they are the best. They think they are they are doing the most important job in the company, and overall, it all affects the end results of service or product. Of course, there is no silver bullet that would solve all these issues in one shot, but there is an integrated methodology that is applicable and could help to overcome most of these issues today. And operational excellence that we're gonna talk about is one of such methodologies. So let's see what you've got here, and hopefully maybe some of you would wanna take the microphone and share with and comment on any of these issues that we have, and let's see what you have comments here, if you have comments. Okay. Oil and gas energy. So we have Lean Six Sigma. Okay, open to opportunities. Someone is looking for the job. Okay, but that's not what I asked. I asked to see if you have comments on the listed problems. See if you have identical issues, or maybe some other. Let's see. Competence and soft skills in Insecurities within employees create silos. Okay, agree. Yep, agree. Soft skills. Yeah, sometimes you might be a good engineer, but you don't have a emotional intelligence. You don't know how to deal with other departments, and that is also very true. Yep, create silos. Agree. Lack ecosystem thinking. Lack ecosystem thinking. Yep. Agree. Raihan, thanks for the comments. Oh, stakeholders, ever-changing stakeholders, state regulators. Yep. So changes in legal requirements and stakeholders also could affect the strategy, hence the project goals or the initiatives. Also very true. Is there anything that you think is not in the list? And let's see. Please participate, because this is for me, it's also good and insight from different industries. So instability in legislation and lack of competence in judicial system. Yeah. Constraints in legal requirements and instability also causes that managers and top managers, they don't make a decision that would affect the long term. All their decisions based on the short term. They think that, Yernar, why would I care what would happen with me or with the company in 6 months? Because I'm going to change the place. They don't make a decision that would affect the company in the long run. And plus, if they know that the legislation changes and all legal requirements, all these changes, it also would stop them from making those good decision for the company. Maybe hard decision for now, but in the long run, it would come back with a good impact. So there is a okay, Anara is commenting. So personal burnout. Yep, that's a big thing. It's all related with the culture. It's all related. Yeah, there is a. We will talk about in more details about personal burnout, and especially when. Yeah, this is a big because the key asset of any company is the personnel, is a human. And, professionals, it so happened that they burn out if there is no good incentive in place, if there is no program for development, if there is no employee management system on place, if there is no on-time feedback and understanding from the company perspective what other strengths and weaknesses of their employees and what they want to what are the plans in terms of the key personnel. This is also affect the effectiveness of whatever they're doing in the company. So lack of succession planning, a low retention rate. Yes, agree. Retention of full qualified and trained personnel. That is also related to HR and everything with the company culture, with the program of retention of good professionals. So nowadays it's very you can see it, especially in oil and gas industry, in machinery, heavy machinery. The professionals are in great demand. So toxic environment, no training and development, micromanagement, no work balance through STEM. Thank you. Lack of understanding and enforcing of accountability at all levels. Yeah, and this is this is lack of understanding. Yep, we will spend some more time, and this is directly related on the how you top managers convey the strategic plans and cascade it to the understandable and clear goals and objectives to the lower levels in the organization. And this is something. It's all about operational excellence. It's, yeah. Well, corruption is a noise factor. There is no answer in my program because it's out of scope. I cannot do anything about corruption because let's do the assumption that we don't have a corruption. Otherwise, I mean, I agree that corruption ruins everything. No matter what you do, if there is a corruption, there is no point of even starting. Because I don't know, maybe we have to start another online conversation about it, but not today. So agree. This is a big thing because I've experienced it myself because I had many cases that I really wanted to, you know, help the companies. I say, hey, this is what you need. This is the program. This is the training you need. Let's do it. And the top manager say, what's in it for me? The question, and I was very, very upset hearing that. And yeah, that's a big thing. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything about it. So let's put it out of scope of today's program. So lack of single vision and common goals management problem. Yes, this is directly related to today's topic. How you manage to come up with the strategic plans, and do you have a vision, mission? How you make sure that everyone in the organization understands what to do on their own level. Yeah. Lack of understanding. Yes. Accountability. This is also related. Yeah. Yeah. Good comments. Thank you for those of you who is typing. Maybe someone wants to take a microphone and go through and I mean let's hear from you. How many people we have on our today? Yeah, 36. 30. So change management obstacles among employees, especially among employees. Yes, silos, the same thing. When everyone thinks from their own perspective and any decision is being made only for the interest of their departments, whether it's maintenance, production, legal, finance, and everyone is trying to, how to say that, any decision, not necessarily thought about the consequences on other departments. That's a big issue. And there is an answer how you overcome those problems in today's topic. Change management obstacles. Yes, we did it. Yes, okay. More comments? If you want me to proceed further, let's do it. But I really wanted to spend time here because it's, I mean, we have to know why we're doing it. If we are not saying ourselves, yes, these are the problems that we want to solve, and because the answer would be following 7 or 8 slides. So it would be nice to hear from you first. Maybe maybe you don't agree with this problem. Maybe you say, hey, this is it's not true, I don't agree. That's also acceptable. Okay, I see that comments stopped. So that would give me the signal that I should proceed further. So challenges and difficulties. So these are the challenges. When I started my journey in KTR, this what CEO of the KTR had listed in front of me, and they said, "Can you help?" And that's when we, back in 2018, we started our journey in, implementing this program, Operational Excellence Program. So what is operational excellence? And there is a book that was published and written in 1995. They called this The Discipline of Market Leaders. And you can see the authors. And the core of the book is based on 5 years of research about the companies, market leaders, by the way, during that time, such as Walmart, Dell, Southwest Airlines, Home Depot, Intel, and Sony. When the researchers were trying to find the answer, what was it that made these companies so successful, they all stated the same thing. They said all we did is we choose to excel in delivering our extraordinary levels on one of these factors. You can see it here. You can see it. It's a customer intimacy. So understanding your customer very well. The product leadership. The example is that, for instance, like an Apple company always upgrading their product line, or car industry, and operational excellence. This is the third, the last but not least. And they say that all you need is to excel in operational excellence and maintain maybe the standard level on the rest, on customer intimacy, product leadership, because they are controversial. You have to find the optimum level of development, but you cannot neglect them at all. So what is operational excellence? And this, it's a philosophy of managers for leadership, teamwork, and the ability of this thing to solve systematic problems on their own, by the way, not foreign consultant, no one but them. It's about the philosophy that requires and leads to continuous incremental improvement of all division that you have in your company. And these groups should be focusing on the needs and the expectation of the clients. By the way, clients, you have clients external. That's the business. I mean, you sell your product or service, and plus, it's about the ability of this internal silos groups to perceive each other as internal customers and try to really do their best to understand what do I need to do so I can suit the further down in the line my colleagues. What do I need to provide? What kind of data? What format? And how often should I give them the information so they can do their job properly and correctly? Perceive each other as internal clients. This is the key. So it's a philosophy of leadership, teamwork, and ability to solve these systematic problems, and plus creating this culture that everyone is trying to optimize their own business processes, because no matter what you do, there is always people, there is always some key processes that you do it on daily basis. If you think about it, if you train your team and let them on daily basis incremental change, maybe help them do their job faster, even for 5 minutes or 10 minutes faster than yesterday or last week, or cheaper. If they're spending certain amount of money, that's your cost budget on delivering certain amount of service or product. This is something that your team could work on speed, cost, and quality. quality could be different for everyone. It's different, the definition for quality. But the thing is, these are the 3 items or goals that teams should be working on. So this philosophy is closely related to other continuous improvement methodologies, but mostly it's all interrelated with Lean Six Sigma methodology. That's why I asked how much you're familiar with Lean Six Sigma methodology. I have my black belt Six Sigma certification that I got from American Society of Quality, and maybe not many of you know that this is a big deal. It's the same as for business a candidate to get an MBA or to get a CCA for the accountant. So in my field, in quality, in manufacturing and engineering, it's a big deal, and it requires a lot of effort to do the projects. And plus, those tools that engraved in this body of knowledge are very useful. And maybe companies in our region, in CIS region, maybe they don't appreciate, international standards. They don't appreciate this certification, international certification. But I know that some of the portion of the tools and concepts, they could be very valuable, especially in our today's world when you have to be very competitive. There is no, we are in the same economic zone with the Belarusian and Russian, plus we have a lot of foreign companies that requires us to be competent, to meet the requirements on international level. And if we are not ready, we're not competitive. If we're not competitive, we will not survive in the future. I'm talking about as a businessman, as a company. So in a few words, that's what's operational excellence. It's very integrated process that really connects everyone: leadership, teamwork, the methods you overcome the obstacles and challenges, and creating this environment that will help you to do your job faster, cheaper, and better. At this point, do you have any questions or comments? Let's see what we have in our chat. So maybe someone wants to take a microphone and comment on this. Another? So that's my definition.
Конечно, можно задать вопрос, подняв руку.
Yes, of course. People can just raise their hands, and we will give you the right to speak, to say your comment and to ask your question.
Talking on standard procedures and how we enroll and what are the building blocks this operational excellence consists of, depending where you are in this. Every company has its own journey, yeah, and they have their own level of maturity. Depending on where you are in this development, you have to choose the strategy where to start from. So the following slides would be developing on this topic. Let's see. So no comments so far. I don't know whether it's good or bad. Okay, let's continue. So as I mentioned, TTR has started its journey in 2018. It's a long way. It requires a lot of resources and commitment on all levels, starting from the stakeholders, lead top managers, middle managers, and even the simple workers. So the model, as you can see, the chart. as you can see, the model has a circle shape, and companies could start from anywhere depending on their maturity level. By the way, did you know that only 5% of the workforce understand their company strategy, and only 25% of managers, they have incentives linked to company strategy, and around 60% of all companies, they don't even link their budget to the strategy. I'm not talking about like how many time of executive or top managers allocate their time, and researchers show that 86% they spend less than 1 hour per month discussing strategy. This data shows directly that there is always this gap between the people who make this strategy and who execute this strategy. There is no bridge or connection that would enable these executors, the people who really does the job, who do the job, and people who make the strategy. There is no way of effective communication, because COE always blames these specialists or experts. They don't understand. I mean, I'm telling them what to do, and they don't understand, and they don't really execute what I wanted. And execute the people who really do all the work. They always blame executives or executors or top managers. They make their strategy, they don't even understand the real situation, and that's like Montec and Capuletti. That's what's going on right now. And this operational excellence strategic planning helps to connect these dots, and helps to effectively communicate between people who make this strategy and planning, make the vision, and really turn into this understandable and clear objectives and goals. So if you are in the company that have international standards developed, that means you have a vision, mission developed, and you have a strategy deployment, and maybe you are using the the process indicators in your work. So we might have a company that they don't have it. They don't have it, and they started from here, from 12 o'clock. Maybe you have. So this. Okay, let me stop on this 4 main building blocks, and in more details later. For now, I would just want to show you the main building blocks that will help to achieve this company's ultimate goal. And we know that all the companies' ultimate goal is to have an increased profit. So increased profit would be achieved by what? By reduction of losses, reduction in variation in process, because every variation costs money, every variation, and maybe improved quality and deliver speed. You have a reduction in inventory levels, because you know that the inventory that is stocked in your warehouses, it's a frozen money. So you could have I'm sorry, you could have used these resources in some other investment projects. So manufacturing flexibility, or if you are from the field that is not the production, so the flexibility business, agile business overall, and satisfies customer. These are the main goals that top managers and their teams strive to achieve. So what helps to reach these goals? Well, for ISO or some other standards is the foundation. Why? You have to stabilize the process. Good or bad, your processes have to be very stable. Otherwise, you cannot start any initiatives that would improve it. You cannot improve the not stable process. So first thing you have to worry about is, that's what we did back in 2018. We started to implement international standards, which helped us to strengthen our documentation, more or less formalize our communication plan with the departments, and formalize everything, the way we do the business. And you don't necessarily have to implement this ISO standards. I put the ISO, it's just the meaning that you have to standardize whatever you are doing, because there are some processes that makes money. There are some additional supporting processes that help the team that makes money to organize everything. It's like finance, accountant, legal, IT, and you have a core. And you need to understand what are those processes. You need to understand and control those processes and make sure that you have the same consistent result, good or bad, no matter, as long as it's stable, then you go good to go to the next level, which is having key process indicators. Then you have to learn how to, the next foundation is you have to learn how to measure those process indicators. There is a saying that if you cannot improve the process unless you are measuring it. If you start measuring any process that is important to your business, then let's see. There is a comment that I cannot see the full slide. Is it true, Anar? Do you see this slide?
Да, я вижу, я написала свой комментарий. Почему?
Okay.
Это было, когда вы увеличивали его.
Got it. Statistics about 5% of workers who understand that it's worldwide in Kazakhstan. No, by the way, that statistics, it's a worldwide, not in Kazakhstan. I believe in Kazakhstan it's even worse. So that is, yeah, it's a worldwide statistic, including US and European countries. So the next foundation, if you are able to manage, to measure your key processes, then you're good to go. Then you understand. It's like a sportsman. When if you run or swim, you have to understand your current level, where you are, what is your heart rate, on what pace you run or swim, how many push-ups you do, etc. You have to understand your current level. You have to be able to measure it. If you don't measure it, you won't be able to say whether you improved or not later on, after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. So that's very important. And you see these three main building blocks. I would zoom in, so don't worry. So the first one is methodology and philosophy, and this is the notion where it comes from. Everything starts from the vision and philosophy. So this philosophy that Lean and Kaizen brings in, it's very important. It all starts from this methodology. Six Sigma helps to eliminate this variation in the process. Lean processes or Kaizen processes, projects, they help to make your process shorter, make it lean, make it faster. So yeah, the methodology and philosophy, so define, measure, analyze, improve, control phases helps organization and teams to stay, to be focused on the right projects, to be able to stop on the before you find out that the project is very, how to say that? It's a bad project. I mean, the outcome is small, but the resources it used a lot, and you end up having like, oh, we spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of money, but I mean, there is more important project that we should have started in the end of the, the beginning of the year. So to avoid that, you have to be able to, create certain gates, like with the board of the meeting saying like, this is the problem. Yes, we agree. Are we going further? Yes, let's analyze it, define it, measure it, analyze it, improve it, control it. And on each level, there are certain responsible people with the cross-functional team that allows you to go and proceed further and further. If at some point your company sees that there's no point of continuing this project, it's being seized. That's it. Let's refocus and start another project. So things like the methodology and philosophy are the main. Then you have to create based on this methodology and philosophy. So if you take a closer look, you have a Kaizen, you have a value stream mapping. Those are the tools. Total productive maintenance for the folks who is responsible for the maintenance part. This is the TPM that came from the Toyota. And also there is I spent 4 years of my life in the engineering team, Moscow team, implementing this best practices in maintenance oriented for the reliability part. So this is also something very similar to operational excellence, but it's more tailored to the maintenance part. How you make sure that your equipment is available 365 days. How you make sure that you load them properly. How you make sure that you control the quality and maintenance, things like that. And you have you have this culture. You have this hopefully you see it. So management support is the key. No matter what you do, no matter what the initiatives, how many people you have, if there is no support from managers, you don't even start. If there is no understanding of what is it that your customer comes back and buys your service and product, if everybody in the company, all departments, they don't understand what is it that the customer is paying for. Plus, if there is no understanding of who is my internal customer, who do I serve within my company, and who is my internal customer, and the communication and the process that is being created as a result would be ineffective if there is no that understanding. So customer focus is the key. A continuous improvement. If you have create the culture that everybody in the company is trying, they're not afraid of raising hands, waving, saying, hey, there is a problem. By the way, this is a big thing in Kazakhstan. In European countries and in USA, you don't have a problem saying employee raising hand, hey, I see problem, and this is what I think we should do. But here in Kazakhstan, there is a, how to say that, there is a internal, maybe it's because of the, I don't know, but the fact is not many people in the company are willing to raise hands and say, hey, I see the problem, because they're afraid of being punished. They're afraid of being somehow they're afraid of getting the consequences of their comment. So they would prefer to keep silent and continue what they're doing. But the thing is, the problems that started this big on the conceptual design phase, for instance, would grow like this. In the end, and when there is no way you can hide it, then it's very expensive and it's very painful for everyone. I guess that's the way how it is now, but I think we should change and we should do something in our culture. It's like I know that the Kazakhs, they don't ever show up in the doctor's room unless they're dying. it's the same thing here. You have to do the regular checks and proactively take care about your body. So yeah, 5S program is a big thing. It's applicable mostly it's in manufacturing and industry and production, but it's also effective in office. It's the concept that helps people organize their working place, sort the things, maybe set it in order so you can find it, all the tools you need very quickly. It affects your directly mood, and it's good for the overall mood of the team and the environment you're working in. Plus, it affects the quality of the work you're doing. So using statistics, the culture of using statistics, the managers have to be very statistical thinkers. They have to be very system thinkers. Their decision have to be made not only today's something happened today and I have to make my decision. They have to be able to do the step back and see and collect the data, maybe try to look at the situation from different angles and perspective and see maybe what's going on in terms of the 1 week or 3 weeks or quarter or 6 months. And they would be able to see the trend and variation. And by understanding this statistics, your decision would be more accurate and you won't maybe be reacting to today's problem as if you're not using statistics and you are overreacting to today's problem, and this could mislead the way you overcome the problems. And plus it affects directly to your mood, hence if you're a top manager and you're angry and you are very upset, it affects because the managers and top leaders, it's a mirror of the organization. It affects to your team, the rest of the team. So using statistics, it's very, important for everyone in the company. So analysis of the existing processes, improve process development. This is the culture. It's the way we work here. For instance, at TTR, we have created several procedures. We have created the rules that if you have an idea that will help to do your job faster, better, cheaper, then share with us. We'll pay you money. Every idea costs money. We pay 5,000 tenge for every idea. And for the first two years in our plant, we had a lot of ideas. Those ideas are very small, but imagine this. Maybe you might think that your idea is not like big and it's not important, but think about this. If everyone in the company at the same time would increase, maybe do the one step further and increase their job, whatever they're doing at the same time, overall for the company, it affects, the results are great. Even you might don't think about from your perspective, they think that, well, it's not important. But if everyone on daily basis, on weekly basis, would be striving to improve whatever they're doing, overall, it would affect the cycle time. Overall, it would affect the expenses to the cost, and overall, it would affect the cost or the quality of the product or service. So the third column is tools that help to brainstorm the ideas, to collect the ideas, to analyze, to maybe make priorities, to tools that help before improving something. You have to be able to understand where you are, to make the gap analysis, to draw the current process. You have to map the process, you have to brainstorm, you have to collect the cross-functional team and things like that. You have to use all sorts of tools like FMEA. By the way, it came from the auto industry. failure mode effect analysis. Engineers use that tool a lot, but it also it's something similar to risk management. A lot of companies use that also. Control charts, it's okay. I agree that I need to use statistics. What tools I should use? Control charts, histograms, Pareto diagrams. Yeah, these are the basic tools that people should use. So if you make sure that you have a right philosophy on place and you have a right culture, you are supporting this culture, and you have the right tools with the right training, then you could be sure that company would reach the ultimate goal, which is increased profit, because it directly affects to these sub goals of the company. So do you agree with this or disagree? I need your comments. Yeah. Let's see what we have. So, Ася, абсолютно согласна. У нас не могут выразить собственное
I
мнение.
absolutely agree. Our people do not express their meaning.
I am working currently at KTR. I have created, policies. You have to be. Don't worry about retaliation, or don't worry that if you raise your hand and say problem, you have to. You have to be able to raise your hand and say something, and I'll pay you money and make sure. I will make sure that no one would punish you for that, and plus I will make sure. I will make sure that we will thank you, and we will be in the end of the year. We will be saying that what is the best 5S project, what is the best idea, who did what kind of problems they solved on their area, and I'm cultivating this culture. It is hard, but I think it's doable. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Are we on time? Yes, we are on time. Good. So these are the benefits of operational excellence to achieve the steady growth. Sorry. To achieve the steady profit growth, you can achieve that with the right customers and the right suppliers. If you are able to come up with the policy that would enable you to choose the right suppliers and to prioritize the right customers, then it will affect your steady profit growth. If you have able to attract the best people in the market and plus retain, make sure that they stay in your company, they have a good incentive, they have a good development program, the culture of the company such great, so no one wants to leave. The turnover of the company, it's very, very small, the percentage. It directly affects the steady profit growth of the company. If you have a performance management, if you develop the culture of the process performance, if you cultivated in your teams such approach that everyone could use the special metrics program, come up with the key process indicators that could measure their success, whether it's a cost or speed or quality. This is something also very important and could affect directly to the steady profit growth. Plus, if you have a world-class operating system procedures and you are able to build the class procedures that standardize, first of all, standardize your key processes, then making sure that the communication is very effective within the company. So, and it all affects, directly affects to the way your company grows. These are the tangible benefits, and you also have, it's operational excellence is more than increasing profitability. It also making sure that you have a sustainable development in the long run. You have a team. Key assets of any company is a team, and you're letting them develop. You're letting them speak up. You're letting them raise their hands and give them the sense of ownership of their work they're doing. Give them sense of involvement and appreciate their help. Appreciate you are creating such environment. So it's not all about money. Sometimes it's all about, you know, creating the company, the place where you want to stay. If I feel that I'm valued, if I feel that everybody is appreciating my input, why would I ever think of leaving this company? So it's about, and if I feel like I have a clear vision of development and I have an option of development, whether to grow the company up in the hierarchy or grow across the company, or maybe just deepen my engineering knowledge. It's up to me. If I have that option, and if I know, if I see the clear path in the employee management system, why would I even think about leaving the company? It's the operational excellence also gives the risk management. I mean, it improves the risk management, because top managers, they're not gods. They cannot oversee all the problems. Yeah. In fact, all the problems knows people who does the job. There is no way you know the job from the person more than from the person that is actually doing the job. But the thing is, if you are creating such environment that this person would happily will be willingly how to say, share with his expertise and willingly share with his concerns that, hey, this, you know, material supply might be an issue, and it could be the risk in our project. And this key information that comes from the bottom, it's a risk assessment. So you have to be able to also create this program and collect this information. HEC, safety is first, especially if you are, I mean, there is no, nothing important, let me put it this way, nothing important than human life. You cannot put at the risk to your life, your colleague's life, health and safety. So this operational excellence also helps to create this safe environment for the workers. By the way, this was something, you know, back in 2005 when I was a student. And I had a chance to get this international exchange program, and I spent my 3 months of my life in Spain, traveling across the country, visiting all the enterprises. That's when I got fueled my interest, and I got back from that trip, you know, with a lot of questions. Why such a big difference between our workers and their workers? Why are they getting paid very high, and why it's the safety part is very, this is what got me most my attention. Why they're all wearing glasses and helmet? Why they have a good PPE on them? And we're not different. I mean, why don't we do this? These thoughts were with me, and it forced me to think through this. And in my journey, and I think that this is something that helped me to develop as a professional. And now I had a chance in KTR. We have a lot of projects and plans in Atarau that we are creating this environment. First of all, we are creating safety environment for our workers. I mean, the light, the temperature, the tooling, even the restrooms and everything, even the coffee machines, everything is for the workers, even the right tools on the right place. So yeah, safety is first. And if you do the all things that I mentioned, you would become I mean, eventually you and your company, your team would become a number one choice for employment. That's what's going on in KTR also. I mean, we are number one partner and choice in oil and gas industry. Yes, we're now going for mining. We're now going for rail industry, heavy machinery. But yeah, our partners see the value in us because we are developing and investing in people and technology. So yeah. So how it works? This achieving operational excellence requires integrated implementation of main 4 blocks. It's a strategy deployment. You have to be able to have a vision, mission, and purpose. Whether do you want to be in the moon in 5 years, or I mean, land on the moon, or you want to go to some other planets, you have to have that vision, and you have to have a strategy how you get to the moon, what kind of spacecraft, what do you need, what kind of fuel you're going to use, how many people you need, and the strategy deployment, and how you make sure that this strategy aligns with the links of the execution. How you make sure that the people who does the job really understand what you need. So this is strategy deployment. Then the next building block is performance management. You have to be able to make sure that all the processes, they are effectively translate all the strategic initiatives and goals into clear and measurable goals on each layer. Okay, I want to serve all the foreign companies and oil and gas industry. Okay, what does it mean for me as a welder? How many points should I weld? What does it mean for CNC operator? How many tools and how many parts, sub-assemblies should I assemble or machine? So you have to be able to convey that message into clear and understandable terms on each level for clear communication. So this performance management block is responsible for that. Of course, on the blue circle, you see the tools that helps you to do that. And one of the big tools that by the way, I forgot to say that on strategic deployment, on annual basis, we conduct a strategic planning session where we have a team, top managers, the leaders of the team, gathering in one place on annual basis, sharing with their goals, what they have achieved, what problems they had past year, and what the ideas, suggestion of improving, what are the potential projects we should invest. Of course, this happens after the COE of the company shares with the vision where we want to be in 5 or 10 years, or 3 to 5 years, I'm sorry. So the block performance management is responsible for, we use the balance scorecard. In Russian, система сбалансированных показателей, balance scorecard, we call it. So this performance management helps employees to understand and focus on priorities, it helps also reduce the number of metrics to few vital key performance indicators. If you're interested, I could also show in our attachment. Then it strengthens and formalizes the project section to focus on capabilities and potential problems that might turn out during the execution. And plus, it's from financial perspective goals, from the business development perspective, from business processes perspective, and from HR perspective. These goals and objectives and metrics, they have to be interrelated based on the strategic vision where we want to be for the closest 2, 3, or 5 years. Yeah. So the next block is, again, this is this circle. You will start from. It depends on where you are in maturity level of the organization. If you have a vision, mission, strategy, if you have a performance measurement set already, if you are using balanced scorecard, then I guess you can start working on improving your processes. You can start working on maybe delivering more efficient, more effective processes. So this is where Lean, Six Sigma methodologies, and 5S comes handy, because these are the methodologies that helps to teams to create such environment. And by the way, it consists from, we have launched the program, we call it Lean Six Sigma certification program at KTR. It's a big program that requires you to go through, every single participant have to go through the intensive training, online training, interactive training. They have to do the project and show the board what they did, what are the aspects they have improved in the company. And yeah, this is very big program project that it's a 1-year journey for each candidate here. But the result is that you have people change agents in the team across the company who always would be thinking, how do I improve my work? How do I save money? How do I strengthen my quality? So this is something that I have created online courses. For those of you who are interested, could write me in personal. I will be happy to provide the link at Udemy courses. It's available. So 9 hours operational excellence course in Russian. So in the end, so this third block is about all process improvement. And the last block, operational excellence, can be achieved with the right attitude, with the right mindset, and with the right competences and right people on place. If you're not creating such environment in the company, I mean, the rest blocks will not work. So this is something that we are working on it. We haven't, if for instance, first 3 blocks, I was able to start each project on there. Now we just on our, I'm talking about KTR. Now we are starting on developing our EMS system, employee management system, where every single manager, top manager, middle manager, and the layers in the organization have the clear goals. Then every quarter they would have, imagine the company where every single employee would be giving the reports online against the strategy goals, what he did from his perspective, what other metrics that helped him to say whether he did a good job or bad job, or how many money he saved, or what are the metrics. Did he improve his timing? Did he improve the quality? So things like that. So this improves and ensures that everybody in the company understand what is expected. Everybody in the company understand what, I mean, have the opportunity to say, this is what I did, and maybe to get a bonus for that. I mean, this is also important to get the feedback for that. So yeah, 4 blocks strategy development, performance management, process improvement, and high performance work teams. This is how it works, the cycle of practical. Behind each sentence, there is a big programs you have and tools you have to carry on, and it's not like happens in one day. It requires a lot of preparation, but I mean it's possible. Do you have by the way, do you have questions on this, how it works? Because then I have only 2 slides, and I will be spending some time on focus group and maybe shedding some light on how this focus group works and why they're doing, and how you make sure that cross-functional teams and each across the company will work on different problems. What are the standard phases? Do you want to make a comments, or maybe have a microphone and share with your vision? Maybe you don't disagree. Maybe you don't agree with all. So let's see. So we have 5 minutes to go, yeah? Okay. Feel free to leave your comment and wave your hand if you want to say something. Okay, there is a suggestion. We skip the questions. That means you want to see the end of the slides. That's good. Okay, so focus group, 12 groups. So let's put this focus, 12 working groups. We have 12 working groups, and first we've selected 50 people, candidates, and in the future they will be working on 12 different areas. As you can see, in any company organization, you have groups. All these groups have 3 common goals. It's making their process better, faster, and cheaper. And we have a group that would be working on health and safety, maybe employee development. We have one group working on this, strategic marketing, commercial management, project management, engineering project, because every single division, every single direction actually requires improvement. And when we have 12 groups working on these areas, we ensure that we have all the improvement initiatives going on at the same time. Plus, by creating this cross-functional team, we are making sure that the decision and improvements are not biased. So they're all considered from the different perspectives. So we have a group that would be working on business control, cash management, information technology, with the supply chain. Supply chain is a big one because it directly affects the cycle time of it, especially in our manufacturing world. I mean, it's very critical. I always depend on how fast I would receive the parts I need to assemble the thing. This is very important and critical. IT technology also, the infrastructure. Do I have a good internet? Do I want to create some project that would help me do I have the internet? So things like that. So every single project requires cross-functional team. How they work? They select first of all, we created this program that remember I was telling you toll gates. Each toll gate you have to pass from each toll gate. So first toll gate, you have to be able to select the right project and clarify big picture. Yeah. Of course, your project have to be aligned with the strategic goals and vision. You have to be able to prioritize project based on the impact, based on the value, resources, and timing. Things like tools like Project Charts are helpful in this case. The second part is select. You have to select the team, train the team, and ensure that you have a right leadership and ownership. You have to be able to select the right team and develop a training plan for this one. The third phase is all about developing and implementing improvement plans, utilizing the right improvement methodology. Maybe sometimes you don't need to spend a whole lot of time. You know the answer, then you just implement it. Sometimes you need resources and justify your resources and investments, capital expenses. That's when that Lean Six Sigma methodology comes very useful. The fourth phase, it's all about managing of excellence, controlling the quality, making sure that you have a frequent review progress, remove barriers. It helps to remove the barriers, maybe check on continuous basis how good you are and the progress status. The fifth stage helps you to sustain the gain results, implement effective control plans, and maybe to take the same approach and use it in other projects. Well, there are numerous frameworks and tools. This is not the panacea, the answer for all your problems, but at least this gives you, structured approach, a systematic approach to solve these problems. And Lean Six Sigma, in my experience, really helpful, as long as you know what tools to use and when to what stages you use. This is the last slide. This is a little bit out of topic on operational excellence, but I use this concept in all my projects because this diagram came from Toyota Way. For those of you who are familiar with the Toyota company and familiar with the methodology they use. So this diagram illustrates what is important. That is important. It's very important having these elements all together as an ecosystem, and it must be practiced every day in every consistent manner. All leaders have to live the philosophy every day, not just saying I believe in this. They have to be consistent. They have to behave as an example. The leaders have to be they have to be led by example. In this model, major commitments are summarized in 4 P's. So first base is your management decision on long term. Sometimes it's decision that you are taking now. Maybe it's very hard for now. It's not profitable for now, but in the long run, it's good for the financial goals in the long run. So sometimes you have to be able to make those commitments and decisions. Spend some money on training, invest some capital expenses on purchasing good equipment and tooling. Yes, you spend now money, then in the future you will see the benefit, reap the benefit. The second base is about having the right process. The right process will produce the right results. So make sure that you have the right and controllable process within the spec limits. The third base is adding value to the organization by developing your people, by developing your partners. The fourth is making sure that you have cultivated this, environment that everybody knows how to solve their problems. Everybody knows if there is a problem, they create a cross-functional team. They have a certain standard procedure. They know how to show their work, and they know how to reap the benefit from their work. So this is what I wanted to share with you. And I'm open for the question. I know that we are right on time, unfortunately, but I don't know if we have a time or not. For those of you who might be willing to stay longer, and I have extra 15 minutes, and I would be happy to answer and hear your feedback, see how it goes. Thank you for your attention. Yeah.